Trucker.
Doctors, roll out. You're watching or listening to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. We the people, the People's Patriot Project.
For a place to put your skill set, your thoughts, and ideas, or want to help continue the mission, you have come to the right place. We are the People's Patriot Project, and we are the shock and awe when it comes to meeting the needs of our veterans and first responders. We are dealing with a new enemy in today's world where the wounds are not always seen. We want you to be a part of this mission in saving lives and making a difference. Welcome to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Here's the WeP3 Team bringing you today's best heroes hits in the boots on the ground organizations that are saving lives. And as always, Patriot Pride.
Left, your left, left, right, your left. You got it!
Trucker.
Welcome to this week's show of We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. Hey, what a beautiful day. What a beautiful moment. What a beautiful... Hey, change your narrative, brothers and sisters. We're going to talk about a little bit of chaos and how it just all comes together regardless, man. Remember, 10 steps forward, 3 steps back is still progress. And that's what we're doing today. A little bit of progress around every corner. We're going to do it. Hey, if you got time, gentlemen and women, remove your hats and caps. Stand if you're capable. And we're going to honor this great country and this great, glorious flag we have with a little bit of a Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice
for all. We're here. We did it.
Oh my
Check out let's put the queen where she belongs. Sorry, Jonathan.
There's no queen. There's no queen today. Look at this.
Special guests here today. How exciting on this. Now, hey, could you guess less than 4 minutes ago, I was driving from Omaha to Minnesota, less than 4 minutes ago. And we were able to pull this together, pull it off. It was important. We've had some curveballs thrown at us today. Who would have known? And the great thing is we got some exciting things to talk about. One thing we will not do is overshadow the amazing guests that we have on our show tonight with kind of the business we were involved with this weekend. If you want, we'll bring up some information. We'll share some stuff. We'll share some excitement. But if you really want to know what happened down in Omaha, Ashland, Nebraska this weekend with Hero Stock, tune in tomorrow at 4:30, and we will spill our guts and spill. But tonight's about Mr. Scotti Fraser and Mr. Phil Cook. Thank you, gentlemen, for being on tonight.
Thank you so much.
Phil, I don't know if we have control of your mic at this time. I think that might be a you thing.
It's an honor to be here with you guys tonight.
Awesome, outstanding. We got everyone. We got some people listening in right now. Real quick, Jeremy Daniels, good to have you, brother. The funny thing is, I understand that there are some tacos to be eaten in this house once I get a break away from this from the show, but that's not life's life, man. We'll get through here.
So there are tacos tonight.
There are tacos. There are tacos. What a day. What a weekend. Tell me real quick. We'll do a real quick round robin, then we'll get to Jonathan with the news. Mr. Cook, tell me your positive of the day or the week.
Well, it's a beautiful day here in southern Tennessee. I'm actually in the southwest section of Tennessee myself. I've been working on some improvements, building a fence here out here at the house, and doing a lot of rucking, getting ready for a half marathon coming up in October in San Antonio, in preparations to start training for Baton Death March 2024.
That doesn't mean anyone's dying, right?
No, the Baton Death March is a 26.2 mile marathon event that they have every year at White Sands Missile Range to pay tribute to the fallen from the original Philippine Death March during World War II. And every year they do it.
I knew that piece,
I did it.
I just wanted to make sure our audience knew no one was dying.
Right. I did it this last March with Memories of Honor, which is a nonprofit 501c3 out of Franklin, Tennessee. We have bibs that we pass out at our sporting events in 49 different states that we are represented in. All those bibs we pass out have fallen service members' names on them, so you can walk, run, ruck, or cycle in memory of a fallen service member by having one of those bibs. You also have an opportunity to send a message to their families as a way of saying, thank you, and a message of gratitude that we send to them directly. All the information and the names that we have on our data bank is gathered from the families, not just pulled off the internet. That's what makes memoriesofhonor.org an outstanding organization.
And we will we'll get more to that here in a second. How's that? Andrea, tell me about your positive of the day, week, month, year, whatever you want.
Well, okay, here's the positive. I made it here, regardless of how much time it took or actually what I looked like, I guess. And so that's daily. Found my phone. What are you hinting at anything, or am I just...
No, just life, man. Just life.
Okay, so life. Look, I got a new sweatshirt. Whoa.
Woo!
There's positive. I have had a super exciting weekend, and that is cool. School started, so that's good. Met Jonathan in person. Oh my gosh, I met Jonathan in person, and that was one of the super highlights of the whole entire weekend. Yes, as well as many others, but Jonathan was the champion of the highlight. Yeah, lots of good stuff. Lots of good
Mr.
stuff.
Fraser.
Found my phone. That was a good thing.
We'll get there. Mr. Fraser, give me a positive, brother.
Positive. My name is Scotti Fraser. I served as an infantry squad leader as a sergeant in the United States Marine Corps Infantry. the 1st Marines, combat veteran from Iraq. And now I am a touring musician, leading a band with really a mission and a focus to bring hope and the healing powers of music to our veterans and first responders and people suffering hardships. We're a very mission-focused band. Finishing the recording for what will be our 2nd album. Had a great show in Houston, Texas last night, and made a great connections with some veterans in the crowd. So trying to get that camaraderie going that we do.
I love it. I love it. I have so much I want to share with you, and just we'll get there. We'll get there.
Awesome.
I'm man crushing a little bit, just so you know. I hope that you're safe because you don't have a beard. You're safe because you don't have a beard. So, but we'll get to that too.
That's going to help your safety a lot. I witnessed it this weekend. Beware.
Let's have a teachable moment because we have several people clicking in and chiming in. It might be the same person, but if you are coming up as a Facebook user, if you could, and I know I have an amazing team member that's going to put up the link, just take time, click on the link, and it will allow StreamYard to recognize what platform you're coming from. You're not going to get any emails. You're not going to get any messages. The only thing it's going to do is allow us to see who you are, or throw in your name real quick, and we'll give you a shout out during the show. You get to become a part of history and part of the shock and awe. There it is. Jonathan, what you got, bro?
I don't know how to mention the positives in my life right now without diving off into this weekend, but let's just say the entire freaking weekend.
I love it.
All of it, every minute of it, man. All the people, all the new connections, all the new brothers, the new family members, whatever you want to call them. It's just the whole weekend was fantastic. I really didn't know what to expect, except I was going to meet some people, and it really was so much more than that.
You were a strong tenor on Friday. You sound like a baritone right now. Is that
I don't know what it was, man. I was perfectly fine when I left Nebraska, but before I landed in Dallas, my sinuses were acting up. I ain't been able to catch up since.
I was going to say maybe Scotti needs a low bass guy to join the band.
I might need some background vocals on finishing those last couple songs on the new record, so we might have to fly you down to Houston.
Yeah, you're gonna have to catch me quick because this ain't gonna last long.
My positive is our network of people, which grew exponentially this weekend. But just the fact that we're on the road all day, we're getting where we need to go, and we lined up the people. And you're gonna have to accept it because I'm sending it, Jonathan. This show doesn't happen without Jonathan Crochet this weekend. And he was just as busy as we were. So he was able to man the ship while we were trying to get where we needed to do and deal with some of the curveballs we were dealing with. And I just want to share how greatly we appreciate you, Jonathan. And it was fun watching you network. I know you're doing Bourbon Battle Buddies, but it was also great to know that you were networking because of the People's Patriot Project when we were down in Ashland this weekend. So thank you for who you are, and thank you for amazing, fabulous network of people who are chiming in today. Jonathan, what's in the news?
I didn't really go through a whole lot this week. There's just one event that's kind of sticking out, and so I just very little data, just mostly what's on my mind about it. Tomorrow is the anniversary of the attacks in 2001. Pretty much everybody probably knows the story, but 4 planes were hijacked. 2 were crashed into the World Trade Center towers in New York. 1 into the Pentagon, and the other was crashed into a field in Pennsylvania. But as I recall it, I was you know, you always go back to that song, "Where Were You When the World Stopped Turning?" And I was on a cell phone tower working right across from New Orleans Airport, and it just dawned on us that there wasn't a single plane in the sky. And so we started to find out what was going on, and there was no desire to do anything after that. You know, we just came down, shut the job down, went back, and just watched in disbelief. But let's see if I can make it through this.
No.
It was a day where every single beating American heart was broken.
Absolutely.
It was a day of tragedy for an entire country and the American people as a whole. But it also became a day of unity. And it was a time when American people stood together as one. And they made a loud statement that the lives of our brothers and sisters were not going to be taken without consequence. We lost 2,753 people.
"9/11 was a hard day for a lot of Americans across the country. Myself in particular, I had just finished basic training, got to my first duty station, and we had just walked in off the tarmac, and we had got to see the news, and was just totally blown away with what happened. People were just in total shock and awe. All the military installations were shut down for 2 weeks. No communication inside or out. No people going in and out. No mail. No nothing. And I mean, for the first time, the skies were so quiet. No aircraft, no helicopters, nothing. You could hear the birds in the distance. And it was just one of those moments. It's like something you see out of a movie, like you step in a totally different world. But it was also our national rally call for us to come together as a whole to make a stance. And unfortunately, it unfolded into two major war campaigns, Afghanistan and Iraq. Afghanistan lasted 20 years, and to this day, we're still, losing lives in both locations. It's sad to see all the hard work, blood, sweat, and tears that we put into those countries go to waste. Myself, I have a friend of mine that his dad was lost in the towers. And 2 years ago, for the 20th anniversary, I put together a personal project. And as the memorial flag for the 20th anniversary, I had patches sent from law enforcement and firefighter department agencies all over the country to including Canada that were sent to me. And I had to put them on a 9/11 We Remember flag. And on 9/11 itself, on the 20th anniversary, me and a group of Go Ruck members out of the Nashville, Tennessee area, we did a 10-mile ruck across Nashville, Tennessee. And I proudly carried that flag the entire time. Afterwards, it was on display at the Nashville International Airport, on display for the entire month of September. And every year I turn around and they're always asking if when I have an opportunity to bring it back to be put on display again. Ultimately, the flag will be permanently, its permanent home will be at Fort Campbell Headquarters Division 401st, because 3rd Brigade from 101st, Fort Campbell, and 5th Group from Fort Campbell were the first two military units that responded after the 9/11 attacks and went straight to Afghanistan. So it'll be a permanent resting home for this flag that will be on display there at the headquarters in tribute to all the military service members that responded to the 9/11 attacks on that day here in the United States. I've got the flag here. I'd like to show you guys, if you don't mind.
Please do.
No, please.
This has got patches from all over the country on it. Law enforcement, fire departments, including New York City and Homeland Security as well. I've also sent you guys the pictures on chat.
Mm-hmm.
But this flag itself, I carry with me anywhere I go rucking. And when I go do the Baton Death March and my ruck marches with Memories of Honor, I carry this flag with me honorably and respectably to let them, all of the agencies, know that on this tragic day we lost a lot of people, but at the same time, we have not forgotten them and we never will.
Amen. Thank you, brother.
Yep. I had the chance to go to the memorial site in New York a few months back, and it's still super surreal.
Yes, it's very humbling. I was at Ground Zero during cleanup operations over there, pulled security, and to see such a mess after all of that, it was very hard. From there, I went over to Germany straight to Iraq for 18 months. And I mean, it was very hard to piece everything together at first after what had happened, and how everything just fell into play after that. It just picked up momentum. And with me serving 16 years in the Army, I went to Iraq 3 different times, Afghanistan twice, and got to see both sides of both campaigns. And it was very humbling to see the difference for the Iraqi people, what we were doing for them at the time. And for the Afghanis, unfortunately, we did too little too late for them as well over there. While I served with the 101st, 2nd ID, and 1st ID out of Germany. So, but brothers and sisters that we've lost over there, they are not forgotten. They never will be. And that's the most important thing. As long as we continue, they will not be forgotten.
Jonathan, do you have anything more left in your prelude you wanted to share?
No, not really. It was just a couple of numbers. I think in total, there was 2,753 people lost their lives at the World Trade Center. Of that number, there was 343 of those were firefighters. The Pentagon crash, we lost 184. And in Pennsylvania, there was 40. So, it's just crazy how the innocent people, and then the firefighters that were there, and when you walk around the monument, there's. I'll move on.
You're good,
it's a lot. And
it is.
I think one of the most humbling things.
It is. There's 2 times, and I just, this is what this means to me. There is not a time that I can really think of, and there's not a minimization to this, when I don't hear the national anthem of our great country played, and it doesn't draw a tear to my eye. And it's because of a number of reasons. One of it is the fact that I know, I get to lay my head on my big fat head on the pillows of freedom daily, knowing that it has been bought, paid, and served to me to become something better and to do something better and to be part of something bigger than myself. The other part is knowing how many people we have lost because of that amazing mission that has allowed everyone. You're not going to convince me. I'll allow you to try. Allows everyone in this country the opportunity and the pursuit for happiness. I'm going to tell you right now, you won't convince me. I will join you in the narrative that not everything has gone right since we established this country. I'm not saying that the way people were treated in the borders of this country have always been appropriate. But I will tell you, look at another country that's less than 300 years old and look at the progress that this country has made. Here's the other part that draws those tears. The fact that it takes a travesty like this for us to come together. September 12th is known as Patriot Day in this world, and it is because everyone comes together after this great tragedy. And we go along with a theme that says, let's be ready so we don't have to get ready. That's one of our mantras. We need to be ready now, and that means that we need to be able to reach across the aisle, reach across the table, reach across the street, reach across the pew, reach across whatever thing. We can lose this, and we have been losing parts of it because of other people's ideologies. And this is about pursuit of happiness and the opportunity to pursue not guaranteed things. So I know we could beat this thing into the ground. I'm embarrassed by our country in a sense, and I'm going to say collectively, because we have 22 or 17 to 75 or close to 100 veterans and first responders commit suicide daily. We got this, man. We got this. I sat and watched 1,000 people this weekend show tribute to this amazing country. It's got to be bigger than that, because that was a small part of Ashland, Nebraska. It needs to be on every block, in every street. It has to be. Not just in a football stadium because some guy's parachuting in with a flag hooked to his leg, but because we can look at that flag. I'm looking at the screen right now, and I'm not delineating from anyone who doesn't have one. There's people that believe in this. Oh, there's people that believe in this thing. I don't know if people know this, or I share it every once in a while. And again, we're off topic, but that's okay. We get Scotti in here in a moment, and we'll be blessed by his amazing. You'll never see the green crest in any of our branding, and me and Jonathan talked about this for a moment this weekend, because we see other people do branding where they put something over the flag. That doesn't offend me. It doesn't offend me. But we don't do that. That's just something that we've held tight to. That flag stands the highest in our country. There's something over that flag, one thing, and that is the faith of our Lord and Savior, and whatever your deity is. That's faith first. Flag, family. Eric Miller, you are a beast, Contagion Effect. Oh, gosh. Scotti Fraser.
How are you?
Tell us about you, man.
Well, just jumping in on that note, I remember exactly where I was, and I was with the 1st Marine Fleet anti-terrorism security teams, and I had just gotten home from duty in Guantanamo, which even before it got to be a very popular destination, was some tough duty. And we got home, and I dropped into the reserve, and out in California, Northern California, out there with Echo Company. And I went into a civilian occupation, and it was on the TV that the planes had gone into the buildings and planes were going down. And I will tell you, there was a lot of former active duty members in that Marine Corps Reserve unit that had already, seen combat in Somalia and places like that. And boy, the phone at that reserve center was ringing off the hook, because guys were calling in saying, "Sir, I'm ready to go."
Oh.
I'm ready to roll. And the call came in right after that, and we were activated, and I was right back down at Camp Pendleton with the 1st Marine Division, where I'd started from, and training, preparing to go to the Middle East. And the long and short of it is we were on the border as the president gave that message, that 24-hour message to the bad guys, and we were on the border, and we were rolling in at first light on D-Day of the push. And, some very motivated young Marines, as all the soldiers and sailors and airmen were as well, just wanting to do our part to serve our country. And you're absolutely right, Mark. It was a rallying cry. It was a time of unity. If the terrorists wanted to change the face of America, well, they did, but we were united, and we saddled up, and Americans, men and women, were just ready to go, ready to do whatever it took, lay down our lives. We knew the risks, and we accepted all the consequences should we fall, and everyone was united, and we rolled in, and we did the job that we were called to do in Iraq. So
you're a blessing, brother. I was teaching the day that it happened, and what a terrible place to learn that message.
Right, absolutely. It's there, yeah.
When I'm trained to do what I'm supposed to be doing, and we were put on a mandatory 72. I mean, we didn't have the cell phone and the communication that we had now. But I was with a headquarters battery at the time, and they're like, we are locked down. And that was a change. Weirdly enough, I was a football coach at the time in the Minneapolis area, and I sat on, and I knew, because I was getting information, but I'm having to coach these young men in a football game, but I'm looking in the sky, just knowing everything was different.
Right.
Where I worked as a school teacher, I had a 100-mile drive, a little less than, and I watched everyone in panic fill their cars up with fuel. And I just had in August a brand new little girl, and a year earlier a little boy. And I looked at the person, my wife in my house, and I said, what have we brought our children into? And the bottom line is that life, regardless of what hits you, every single day moves forward, and you can move forward trying to figure out the solutions, or you can be planning and be ready for the solutions. And I think in general, we do a good job in this country, but at the same time, I don't think we're ready. We need to unite forces, unite the country, and this is a gigantic platform we've been working on for a while. Figure out your differences now. Figure it out. If you can figure out that piece, and then we don't have to unite because we're already united. That's the way it works. Wow, this is not the show. This is not what we do.
Hey, it's important stuff, my friend. It's important stuff.
It is. It is.
This molds us into who we are for the rest of our lives. So it's an important topic.
Scotti Fraser, does the Scotti Fraser fan have any canned koozies?
We do. We have a full line of merchandise for all of your holiday needs. That just came out right now. We've got koozies. We've got T-shirts. We've got stickers to put on your really cool metal tumbler there. We've got bracelets and wristbands and really cool trucker caps. We got all kinds of stuff. And you'll find some of it if you go to scottifraser.com. And we're adding new merchandise all the time. But since you asked.
No, this is one of the things. And so you're not just a number to us, just so I'm going to say.
Appreciate that.
Nobody's just a number. Everybody matters.
Thank you.
You're going to be referred to as one of our artists. I hope that doesn't offend you.
I'm honored. I'm honored beyond words.
We can, when we say that statement, that statement's meant endearing in the fact that we want to build a relationship with you. With that said, you get the chance to hear all the musicians that come on to We Got Your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime on WeP3 Radio. And that has created an amazing network of people. Got to network people this weekend. Scotti has sent messages to me today about what he would like to do in the future in regards to events. Try not to let the cat completely out of the bag, but
guilty as charged.
Yes. The thing is, in this line of work that has blessed my life, I get to touch a lot of beards. Beard to beard touching is what I love. They call me paws because I want to put my paws on you. And I know that sounds a little weird, but when I get to put you in my arms, I'm at peace. That's pretty good for a cannon cocker, right? You don't get that out of us gun buddies often, but this was not my nature 5 years ago. But when we get to stand in a room together with people like-hearted, like-minded, and mission-oriented, it is nothing but passion. It is nothing but move forward, and it's saving lives, folks. It's saving lives.
Beautiful thing, family.
Absolutely.
Do you have a song you got lined up for any content we're dealing with at this moment?
So, there were three options we gave you. I talked to you about earlier.
So I would say, if I can throw my 2 cents in, jumping on the tail end of the conversation we just had, there's a song of mine called Red, White, and Blue. And it is exactly what it says. And I, before I perform it live at my concerts, I stop and tell the crowd that basically what the song is about this great country of ours. And it's basically, the story begins of a girl who's traveling this country, and she's seeing all the places and all these beautiful places in this country and experiencing the freedom and the hope that America stands for. And as you get later to the end of the song, you find out that the girl that I'm so in love with, that I'm saying I love, is actually the flag herself. So I'm singing a song dedicated to Old Glory, to Lady Liberty. And that's what this song is about. It takes you on a journey through this country that I love, that I fought and bled for. And, it's just hopefully a red, white, and blue color splash of hope.
I love it. This is Scotti Fraser, Red, White, and Blue.
Seen her out in LA playing with the band. In Carolina, dancing on the sand. She's a star that's slipping through my hands, like the ones that fell on Alabama. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. Get you high as the Colorado skies, and she shines like those New York City lights. As tough as Texas, and brother, she just might knock you to the ground if you start a fight. of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She'll wait there in the harbor, holding up her light. She'll bring a fallen soldier home underneath her stripes. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She's red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue. She's my kind of girl, 'cause she's red, white, and blue. She's red, white, and blue.
It's the message that we all need to hear. I mean, it's again a piece that I'm ashamed of a little bit, that some pieces of our country have called that amazing old glory something different than what it represents, and it represents freedom. It represents everything. Everything you came to this country for, whether you wanted to be here or not. Sorry.
Well, that's exactly what it represents to me, and that's why I decided to make a bold statement in that song. And all the imagery and everything that we shot in that video by a very professional production company, you know, I wanted to make that statement. I'm actually the child of immigrants. My parents, my dad's a combat vet, no longer with us, served with the British Royals, and my mom's family escaped the Holocaust in Europe in World War II. And they are the ones that taught me how to wave the flag. So, you know, they weren't from this country, but they loved the freedom, and they knew from the hardships of where they came from that America was the greatest place on earth, from the hardships and the hell that they'd been through. And they're the ones that taught me to be so proud about this. They got it, and they understood firsthand. And, you know, that's really one of the big things that inspired me to join the Marine Corps, was these immigrant parents that came here with nothing but a suitcase and just fell in love with this country.
I'm absolutely blown away when I hear stories like this, and the fact that, I'm sorry, we do have a culprit in all this. And then again, you won't get me on I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything, but, you know, if we would quit spreading the negative stuff and share the positive stories of people that want to come and make this progressive in a process and positive, the amount of people that are in our military that are not from the United States but have chosen to serve this country because they see it at what opportunity it has allowed them, and then the families of first generation immigrants who came here for the purpose of the freedom and then are not going to exploit it. They're here to add to it. And
Embrace it.
yeah, I love hearing those stories, and thank you for sharing.
Well, brother, let me put another stack another little 2 minutes on that. So my Marine Corps infantry unit was totally multicultural, and what we were taught was there was no this color, that color, this religion, that whatever. We were all green. We were all green amphibious warriors, right? We were all Marines. So in my unit, you were not allowed to say, "Oh yeah, I need to get the keys to the vehicles from the black Marine there or the white Marine." We were all light, medium, or dark green. We were all green. And I went into combat with young Marines that I was in charge of that were in my squad that weren't even born in America. And they were already ready to lay down their lives to fight for this country. Now, they got their citizenship afterwards. We had language barriers even. But I was so blessed to be in this group with these fine, fine young men that were willing to put it all on the line. And we, you know, maybe the culture at large could learn something from the U.S. military, because we're brothers and sisters. We're all united in that. And, you know, it was a good unity thing, you know, and maybe the rest of the country could learn from us.
Well, it's funny you bring that up, only in the fact that just because I'm a dumbass hillbilly from Wyoming and I can't understand a lot of the linguistic issues, and I am incapable of hearing. I have a hard time hearing women, apparently, and that's it is what it is. It doesn't mean I hate them. It doesn't mean will I get frustrated? Yes, I will get frustrated, but let's work through it together. And when I have to ask you, can you repeat that, because I don't understand the thing you're saying?
Right.
A, that does fall on me a little bit, but B, at the same time, I'm not trying to be offensive by asking you to repeat it. I'm just trying to gain the intel and gain information, and I work with. Now, drivers are another thing altogether. If we're talking drivers, that's not a color, race, or anything issue. That's a just you're dumb, move over kind of thing. And don't be offended when I do that too, or give the secret signal to move over.
Right. Don't give me the number one finger salute out the window while I'm
that's
trying
the
to
secret
get my kids
signal to move over. Yeah. That's all that is. Secret signal.
Yep.
But you know what? There is having grown up right here in Minnesota all my life, and I don't have a personality that worries about. In fact, I am probably more prone to continue conversations with people who have something that identifies them as different than me, right? Doesn't matter what, but different. So if you have an accent, if you have darker or lighter skin, if you have a uniform on, it attracts me for conversation. And I have a really hard time I had several friends from Laos growing up, and I have a hard time understanding how we grew up here, and some of us can't appreciate it and don't know why we should appreciate it. And these fledglings to the country are infatuated and would do anything to be here and stay here and keep it as it is and not try to change it or let it be changed, I guess is kind of where that is. And I don't know, I teach as well, and I teach language arts, and I think parents, we have to be careful what we say, because sometimes if we don't mean it, kids don't know that, they don't understand that, and they hear it and they think that that's what they're supposed to say and believe as well.
Right.
We need to let them think for themselves, because honest to God, you put kids in a room and they play, and there will be some spats, but they aren't spatting with a kid of color or a kid with a different language or a kid with a handicap. They're just spatting because they didn't get a toy. It's not about the person.
Exactly.
Frustrating.
Well, the craziness is when you put, first tier immigrant or someone not from America into your classroom, and you sit and watch these kids in the face of adversity, language barriers, culture barriers, all the barriers around. I mean, no vehicles. Then they may have multiple families living in the same and they excel in school and they come to the top of their class and they're the
They
ones
thrive.
that are celebrating. And I'm just sitting there I'm scratching my head. I'm like, does everyone else see this?
Right,
It's not being
kids like that are
handed
just
to them.
thrilled to have clean water, you know.
Right.
But it comes out of the wall. I mean, that's amazing, right? Yeah.
It's things like that that make America great the way it is. That's why everybody wants to come here, because they see an opportunity to thrive and grow and be successful and learn among all the different cultures throughout the world together as a whole. And to see them do that is an amazing feat in itself. And unfortunately, a lot of countries, they shelter themselves and segregate by religions and cultures. And here in the United States, a lot of us, especially in the military, all of that there is non-existent. We're all one cohesive unit, one team, one fight, one common goal for the mission. And that's what makes it amazing for here in the United States.
It makes it amazing knowing that if you can figure out how to work on a team and a team that's working for a cause that's bigger than yourselves, and not working for a cause that lines someone else's pocket or someone else's intentions. How amazing is that? When we jumped on the mission to save lives, we give without asking in return, and at the end of the day, someone calls us and says, "Hey, your actions were actually able to save my life." And again, that's nothing. Honestly, we're not doing anything noble, and we're not doing anything for attention, and we're not doing anything to get recognition. What we're doing is I'm gonna put it out there. We met a man this morning. Here we go. Tony S. You're my new love of my life, brother. I hope you're watching. I hope you're there. Tony S. doesn't know us from a hill of beans. Now, I'm going to tell you, this is not the safest place to be doing this picture. We are actually on I-29 in the middle of the
29 and 80 merged right there.
Yep.
Yeah.
In the middle of the interstate. Now, I may or may not have a friend that may or may not have left an important intel piece of equipment on the wheel well of their vehicle at some point in an early morning extraction. And as we are extraction, said person maybe had left this comm device on the wheel well to find out about 5 or 6 minutes down the road we don't have this comm device, and what do? And we traced our tracks, even though we knew we had to be in Minnesota on our show a lot of hours later, but it was good too. This man happened to notice us retracing our tracks and asked what he could do to help. He has no business helping us. It's a 2-hour process, and the 2-hour process yielded no return at that moment. And we're frustrated, and it is what it is. And he turns around and says, "Hey, I'm going to go home. I'm going to call my buddies, and we're going to come out and we're going to find this thing because we know it's here someplace." And I'm just like, "Tony, man, what are you doing?" I go, "No one does this." 99 out of 100 people are going to hear this story of my young, amazing friend in distress, and they're going to say, "You know what? I got some nachos and a football game to go watch. I ain't got time for this stuff." This man spent 2 hours looking for a phone along the interstate with no return and had planned to do it again. And we were able to get more comms and actually a phone location, and we did end up finding said device in the middle of the interstate, and it still works.
That is an amazing testimony of selfless service right there.
Selfless. You served today, brother.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Yep.
Must have
We
been
couldn't
from-
not. He was. You know what? I'll give you that, Jason. After meeting some of your friends, we were just across the border, but he could have very well have been from Nebraska. I can't. That personality, like he wasn't giving up. He was not going to give up. He
Thank goodness it wasn't a Saturday where he would have been at home watching the Cornhuskers lose. That's all I know.
Oh wow!
Whoa!
Tired.
Yeah. There were some tears in the beer yesterday, weren't there?
Well, it was a piece where I'm like, this gives me hope because we hear so much raunchy stuff and I do watch these open channels of communication to gain some kind of information and to know what I have to deal with the next day. But I'm telling you, man, 90% of the time I'm shaking my head saying, why is this in the news and media? Thank you, Tony. Thank you, brother. I hope you're watching. God bless you. And even if you're a Cornhuskers fan, I'm okay with that.
No, that took a long time. It could have been better. I just didn't want them going out and putting themselves in danger. I mean, imagine on a Monday. It was crazy enough today. So, or trouble.
Lord knows the interstates are crazy.
My patience was tested a little bit, and I shared the narrative with Andrea. I said, if my phone was lost, and this was after the fact, because I was there to support, help, and I knew the biggest pieces in her mind she shared. I mean, I'm going to be.
Well, now we're telling them that it's me. Okay, fine.
Well, I'm sorry. Me. Yeah. I don't think we didn't know. We get back to the car and she's crying, and I understand why. And the biggest loss in this was that she's going to miss the pictures of her grandbabies. And at that point, that was like, this is now important for me. And it wasn't not important. I mean, I was there the whole time. I was marching up and down the road. It was, this was important to her. I knew this, and no one wants to have that loss. And it just, again, when another person who had no investment in either of our worlds said he's like driving up and down, coming back, checking things. I'm just like, Tony, slow down, man. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Refreshing.
Makes it for another great reason to back up your photos on the cloud, so that way you've got them in case you lose your phone out there on the highways.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
We have had that conversation.
We'll have to talk later. My cloud seems to be a little full, so I need to figure that.
I've got 27,000 photos in mine, so I can relate.
Grandmas
as a veteran photographer, that's why.
Oh, there we go. That's right. Holy cow, that's a lot of photos. Oof.
That's a different monster. Mr. Cook, I mean, you shared a lot of what you're doing, what you want to do, how you want to do it, when you're going to do it already. And so we got segments how we build out. What's the biggest thing you're working towards at this moment right now?
September 30th here in Memphis, Tennessee, Introvert Warriors will be having another veteran suicide prevention hike here in Memphis, Tennessee. Introvert Warriors is a nonprofit 501c3 veteran organization based out of San Diego, California. Cindy McNally is actually the founder of the organization. And we have actually expanded the organization to where we are now doing hikes worldwide. This last year, we had them in Germany and Puerto Rico, as well as Cuba, to help prevent veteran suicide. All of our hikes are usually on a Saturday, and it's always free to all veterans to attend. You can go to the introvertwarriors.com page, look up the city near you, and you can see where all the hikes are throughout the country as well as overseas. Our main goal for that particular thing is the fact that we open up the communication where veterans can sit down with fellow veterans face-to-face that have been across the pond, get rid of the red tape, and open up and communicate as to what they're going through, help them through their struggles, and get them the help that they need without all the drama and excuses.
I love it. Cindy's a great friend.
We have saved here in Tennessee alone. I know 15 soldiers we have personally saved from committing veteran suicide by getting them the help that they need and getting them into rehab to help them through their situations. It's a life-changing experience, and every time we do these hikes, we always ask, who is at these hikes for the first time? And then I go do a little small interview with them, figure out who they are, where they're from, what brought them to the hike, what they expect the hike is going to be like. And by the time we get done with the hike, I go back and get a secondary interview with them and say, now that you've experienced what the hikes are all about, now what do you think about the organization? And it totally gives them 180 degrees change from, well, it's a bunch of veterans walking around drinking from bar to bar to, hey, these are veterans getting together, creating a network and support chain themselves and making new friends to help them out, to where if they have a problem that they're going through, they need someone to help them or someone to talk to, rather than being part of that statistic of 22 a day that we lose. They make that call and they reach out to somebody to help them out. And that's what Innovative Warriors is all about, helping combat veteran suicide. We have people that are law enforcement, firefighters, and military. All of us are out there doing the same thing at these hikes. And it's a huge impact we have had. This last year, we had over 375 veterans in Nashville. This last weekend, as a matter of fact, we had a hike in Nashville downtown. And having veterans from all over the country come together for these hikes, it's a very huge impact we have on the community. A lot of celebrity singers and performers out there have donated tens of thousands of dollars to our organization for our cause, in ways of showing their support for what we're doing for our veterans as well.
That's amazing. Well, we have a great relationship with Cindy out of Round Rock, and I love the draw. I don't get it, and it's not that I don't get it. It's awesome, awe-inspiring, shock and awe, watching the irrelevant warriors come together and do the events that they do, because they don't come in just a tiny little flutter. They come in full force and they put on events that the legitimately brothers and sisters binding together and making a difference. And I love watching that mission. Irreverent Warriors was actually at the event in Nebraska this weekend at Hero Stock, and we watched two ruck groups kick off two different rucking events while we were there. And weirdly, I'm on a conversation with the founder of the other one, Mr. Frudenberg, and just getting support for him and doing the things that he needs to do in his mission. But it's just an amazing opportunity to, again, there are so many pieces when we are talking about helping save brothers and sisters. And we're talking veterans in this sense, but we also expound that to first responders as well. We go with the battle cry or the challenge, so to speak. What are you doing? Because if you're not doing anything, literally, you're not doing anything.
Absolutely.
That's a hard concept. To get out and to spend a little physical exertion, you don't have to carry weight. You don't have to go their full distance. You just need to get out. And I also know that they do virtual marches as well. So you can do it on your own time, your own space, your own dime, your own thing, and you can go get out. And we're working on some pieces in that. Thank you so much, Cook.
Not a problem. When we have these hikes are not very long hikes like a lot of people seem to think they are. These hikes are a casual stroll, distance between 5 and 6 miles total, and you have many breaks in between to where you can stop and hydrate and rest, including provided with lunch as well, which is awesome. And you're not just out there sweating it and going for a time limit, because that's not the case. We are together as a group for one cause, and that's what we're there for. And the biggest thing for us is to make sure that everybody's accounted for and we are listening. So if someone needs something, we hear something that somebody's in stress, they need assistance, that's what we're there for. Because 60% of the people that answer the suicide prevention hotlines these days have never experienced combat themselves firsthand. That's why a lot of the veterans these days have said that the veteran suicide prevention hotline's been a failure, because they get on the phone and, oh, yeah, I can relate with you. Really? Well, have you been downrange? Have you been shot at? Have you had a mortar round hit you yet? No. Then you cannot relate to what we've gone through. Innovative Warriors breaks all that monotony away, and it gets you one-on-one with somebody that's actually been there firsthand on common ground that you've been on, so you can relate with them and get what you need without having all the hoops to try and jump through. And that is how Innovative Warriors is becoming the #1 go-to for our veterans out there that are struggling these days.
You're appreciated, brother. You're appreciated. Scotti, what's next for you guys?
What's next for us? We're wrapping up, coming to the close of wrapping up the second album. The first album, which is called Do or Die, is out there doing really well. And we're, getting quite a few thousand views and listens of our stuff on YouTube, and things are going good. We're finishing the second album in the studio here in Houston, and that album will be called Never Surrender. The song Never Surrender, as we're talking about veteran suicide, I decided to make a bold statement to bring it to the forefront, a bold statement against veteran suicide. And that song is about never quitting on life, no matter the highs and lows, the depths, and how dark things get, to keep fighting, stay strong, never quit. What doesn't kill me makes me stronger, and making your mark in this life. So that will be the title track off this second album. It'll be coming out, we're hoping, January of 2024, with official music video to go along with it. So that's kind of the future right now. We're just going to keep plugging away, keep touring through Texas, and we try and bring hope and camaraderie and unity at the live concerts. I like to tell people that that my concerts is kind of like a big PTSD get-together treatment moment, and the audience is helping bring me out of that while I'm performing, and hopefully we're all helping each other in those hardships at the shows.
I love it. I agree with you. I want more of it. I want to be part of it. I want to
Hey, Scotti.
Be part of what y'all do.
Absolutely. Hey, Scotti, if you get a chance, go to the Irrelevant Warriors page, find out where a hike is near where you're going to be performing at, get in contact with a hike coordinator, and they can get you set up to where you can actually go out there and perform with the veterans as well.
I'd love to do that. I wanted to say that, I've been on the Galveston hike, and I've been on one of the Houston hikes, and had a great
San Antonio, Austin, and Brussels are the 3 other ones we have in Texas alone. Get a hold of a hike coordinator and they'll hook you up.
Yeah, would love to perform. And, the majority of my lyrical content is about time and service and about standing tall in the face of hardships. Would love to spread that message at one of these events, and hopefully, heal all of us together through the power of music.
That'd be great. We would love to have you out there at some of our events.
Would love that. Thank you.
We have a question out there. This is from our good brother from Contagion Effect, Mr. Eric Mello. Is there a contact in Sacramento that you could connect him with?
All you need to do is get a hold of the Sacramento, go to the website for the hikes, click on Sacramento for the hike. You can actually get a hold of the hike coordinator, and they will get in contact with you. And you can contact them directly, and they can get you whatever you need on any of the hikes that we have throughout the country.
I'm not trying to put a spin on a serious moment. Eric, are you, I think I know what you're going for, but maybe you're going to sign up for a hike. Are you going to do a hike?
Oh,
Mello.
get them out there.
Is Mello going to do a hike?
Mello.
I want to see the Silkies.
That would be cool.
Oh, you want to put them in Silkies? Nice.
Yeah.
That's personal.
We have had Nate McDonald. We've also had Veteran TV coordinator. He's actually been out here a couple of our hikes as well. And it's amazing how we get so many people out there giving us some great support as to what we're doing, and to hear everybody hooping and hollering and honking their horns when we're rolling down the streets, waving those flags from all branches of service and waving those signs, carrying 22 pounds for the 22 vets we lose a day to veteran suicide, help combat veteran suicide. And I guarantee you, people that are walking down these streets get tired, and when people start hooping and hollering, saying, "God bless you guys, way to go," it gives everybody pumped up, and it's amazing what an energy rush it gives everybody, and it makes our cause even more worthwhile.
It just occurred to me, and sorry, Mr. Cook, this does not pertain to you. We love your message. Thank you for sharing. I don't believe I saw the tights. There was supposed to be some tights this weekend.
They on the Innovative Warriors page for the merchandise, we have the tights as well as the silkies you can order online, as well as the other merchandise, which is the koozies, the sports bottles, the bandanas, and the hike tags you can get for the different hikes that we have throughout the country. So you can get all of that on their page for their merchandise.
Love it.
I love that. I gotta say that they
So if you are not a veteran, but you do want to partake in some of the hikes that we have, we are always more than glad to have volunteers to come out and volunteer with us. And we can help you out to where you can help serve lunch to soldiers. You can do a water station if you like. We're always welcome to have volunteers come out and be recognized for their contribution as well and help supporting us in our mission.
Outstanding.
Very cool. Yes, very cool. Very cool. They did look good. I gotta say, it's been a while since I've seen them all together, and I think the silky look has gotten it through the group. Everybody's got it.
Exactly, it's catching on.
Yep.
And if you really want some good laughs, look at all the TikTok videos under Innovative Warriors hikes, and you'll see all the TikTok videos they've made from all over the country. The hikes that we've had from Florida to New York to DC, all the way up into Washington, Oregon, California, and Texas, and some of them are just amazing.
I mentioned this weekend that you may be able to tell how long some of them have been out of service by the tan.
Not necessarily. You have some people that have been out for 10, 12 years. They take care of themselves. They're in great shape, and they're proud to be out there flaunting what they got. And you have some people that are in their 70s or 80s, and they're out there just casually walking.
Yep.
But it's all about, it's there for everybody, all veterans, active duty, reserves, prior service. You're all welcome to come out and show your support and help combat veteran suicide, because at the end of the day, everybody matters, and you matter most importantly.
Yeah.
Yes. Good message.
Love it all.
Very
Scotti
good.
Fraser, plug your band for us.
You can find me and us on Facebook at Scotti Fraser Band. Get the spelling right and put the I on Scotty and the S in Fraser. It's a pretty common name, but
Did I mess it up on that server?
You can find us on the internet at scottifraser.com. Find out where we're going to be, what we got coming up, read the bio, see the videos, links to music. The music is streaming worldwide on all streaming platforms worldwide. And you can also find on Instagram, Scotti_Fraser_band. And would love to connect with people. I will tell you this, it takes a lot of my time, but I do respond to pretty much every single person, wherever they are, that reaches out with a message on social media or via email. I respond to all of them. And I would love to connect, love to connect.
I can vouch so far. I mean, I'm just one drop in the ocean of the world, but I mean, he answers. He answered me.
He didn't realize he's probably about to get like 50 messages from different people.
I can
It's going to be a late night. I better put on the coffee.
Hey, Mark, if you can get Scotty in touch with Cindy directly, that'd be awesome.
I'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Piece of cake. That's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's do some quick shout outs. Jeremy Daniels, always here, brother. Thank you for all you do. Brian Roof of Every Day is a Saturday podcast. Jason Steiner, Hero Stock, I'm going to mess something up here along the way. I know it. Eric Mello with Contagion Effect. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone for being here. I know you're tired from yesterday, and we keep on trucking. Tucker Hart was in the house. Great having him here. Joel Grant Felici. Thank you for coming in, brother. Thank you for your amazing mission and your music. I love watching it. Mello Steiner. Many more. I love it. Network's huge. Network's great. We're getting it done. I had another page open here for a second, but we'll do it. Never surrender, do or die. Which one?
So let's take you to Do or Die. That is an official music video that was done. It is the military motto. And Phil, you know this one. It's something that you guys probably all said when you were on your way out going down range. And I know we say it a lot in the Marine Corps, and I know they say it all across service wide. And it's really just about, it's a song that I actually wrote in my head when I was in Baghdad. So bullets, rounds are flying off. We're in combat, and these words started coming to my head, and it took a while to get it down and recorded along with music after I got home. But it's really just our motto, and it kind of really is a song that I tell at my shows. I put it out to anyone who's done the hard work, that's gone to that hell and back road, and accept the consequences should you fall, and still standing strong. Those photos that are in the video are my actual photos from combat. Those dog tags are the dog tags that I wore in combat. And it was done very beautifully by a...
I love it.
Awesome.
No, it's a Do or Die.
This is Scotti Fraser, Do or Die. Take two.
Listening to my heartbeat pound as daylight fades away. A haunting old familiar sound. The guns go silent and I pray. I'm reading all your letters. I can't get you off my mind. Smoke the day's last cigarette. Thankful I'm alive. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. Helmet for my pillow. I rest on broken glass. Only heaven knows how long can this all last. I lived another day, but trouble's all around. The guns have fallen silent tonight, but the silence is so loud. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. I look up at the stars. smoke, I see the moon. And I wonder where you are at home tonight, if you can see it too. Another burning city lights the fires in the night. I lie to myself and say that I'm not afraid to die. This war is taking me so far from you, and if we meet again, I'll hold you close and never let you go. But until then, mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die. Mine's not to wonder why. It's just to do or die.
It's the real. It's the real. It's actually, I mean, it's weird because we never really get the actual the divine, we're going to call it divine interventions that happened during our show. I was going to add a new segment tonight, just because of the way the nature of the interviews have gone, and the new segment I want to add is what's or how do we build a collective nation? And when I say that, I'm not talking about nation in the United States. I'm talking about a foundation organization of people that is going to find a way to be on the same cause, same purpose, which is a theme of the conversations tonight, to make a difference. And in less than 3 minutes, and then share the very specific role you play and how we're going to get it done. And I'll start with Mr. Fraser.
You know, I try and build like a nation, like a unity group at all of our live events, and to bring a common side business. I started to take the reins, called Sergeant Records. You can find us at sergeantrecords.com, and that's exactly what we do. Is we bring together these events. We put together these events to bring together camaraderie, to bring together that exact unity. Because when we're all in the building, or at the festival, or at a Sergeant Records event, or a Scotti Fraser band show, we're all one. We're all there for the healing powers of music and for unity. It's exactly what we do.
I love it. Andrea, you're not off the hook.
Oh, good.
It's you. I get to answer the question next.
Okay, say again. I was typing notes. I apologize.
Oh,
I feel like I just got caught by the
quit doing your job, for Pete's sakes.
Okay.
Okay. Question again.
You are. How do we build a nation together? And what is your role in that?
Wow. So I liked great answer, Phil. The groups thing is awesome. Okay, so we go to different events, right? As we have a tiny little community group put together with the People's Patriot Project, and then I think we do really, really well at going out and I mean, really, it's conversation, it's making new friends, it's interacting and collaborating with other groups. It's not a pod over here doing their thing and a pod over there doing the same thing and another pod over there actually doing the same thing. Let's isn't it linking arms? Isn't that the way to get things done really in a little bit more solid way. And that's what I would do. I would find all those groups that want to work together, link arms with them, stop doing everything the same with your own little twist. That's okay. Be your own people, but many, many hands help make the job a lot easier. Cliche, but true.
Mr. Cook.
I myself, as a veteran and a photographer both, make it a point to not only go out and spread the message and let people know that there are resources out there to help them readily and for our veterans free, especially for veterans that are dealing with PTSD and suicidal tendencies and stuff like that. I also go out and photograph and document these events to share them on social media, to show them the impact that what we are doing has on others, and encourage people to come out and take part in what we're doing to help join the cause. And by doing so, you're breaking down a lot of those barriers. And for me, it overall, well, for me, it gives me a good satisfaction in knowing that what I'm doing is having a good feedback and on them, because they see firsthand how things are being changed by what we are actually doing. And by encouraging to do so, it's only encouraging more people to come in and get more active in it. And by doing so, that is how we keep getting a larger and larger collective of people coming together for the common cause.
Love it. Love it. Jonathan.
I think bringing people together is what needs to happen. I think the role specifically that I would like to play in it would be kind of dual purpose. I'd love to be the one that facilitates a lot of these get-togethers, because I just, getting the chance to meet the people and pick the brain and just honestly become a more complete person by learning from others. That's really what it's about, right? We all get together, we put our brains together, and we become a more complete entity, if you will, if all of us are working together. We're not a singular person anymore, but we can speak louder, we can reach farther, but when we all start learning from each other and put everything together towards that one common goal, then I think we can accomplish a whole lot more. And I keep looking down here at this hashtag, and it goes way back to Chaz Wesley, and it says, be a part of, not apart from. And instead of being a part.
One team, one fight. That's what we're all about.
Be a part of what's going on, and not sit back and try to pick out, like Andrea said, the things that I would do different or whatever. You know what I mean? If you got time to sit back and nitpick what's going on when other people are working towards it, then you got too much time on your hands and you're probably not doing anything.
Absolutely. It was always great to be part of the solution, not the problem.
It is, and this is going to be harder for my team because I'm going to challenge them with that every weekend now, and we're going to recalibrate that every weekend. And what are we doing? That is literally a battle cry, so to speak. And if you are listening to the show or get the chance to listen to us in the podcast, or get the chance to listen to WeP3 Radio, or get the chance to see us on our YouTube channel, and those all get put on here really quick. Facebook user would like to know who we're talking to, buddy, or sissy, because it could be girls. Buddy and sissy, is that the same? Friend. I'm committing to touching, and this is my joke. I'm committing to touching as many beard to beard touches I can have, which we can make it weird. If you want to make it weird, let's make it weird. I'm capable of that. Here's our call to action. Everyone's got one of these, and it's weird. I lift my phone up, and it's going off right now. All of us have one of these right now. And I know some people go on ruck marches to make recognition, and I know some people do push-ups to do recognition, and I know some people, they make little trinkets. Thank you, LJ, for this amazing Patriot Pride one that you made me and sent to me. I appreciate you, sister. That's all great and grand, and I know that some people come and argue that they will argue, hey, doing a ruck march isn't going to do anything. You're doing push-up. Don't care about your narrative. And that goes back to what Jonathan just said. If you have time to nitpick what you would do differently and or how they're doing it wrong, then you got too much time. And what are you doing? Back to what are you doing? Because if you're doing nothing, you're doing nothing. We do it by a 6-pack. Take 6 seconds to reach out to a brother and sister and say, I was thinking about you. My promise. This is a promise. I guarantee it will stir a conversation. It'll bring a little bit of something. I'm sitting there in Nebraska. I have no business seeing, and I see a person from my network that I met a dozen years ago in the motorcycle world. Walked by once, didn't realize it was who it was. I did kind of, is that them? Different hair color, blah, blah, blah. Went and got my chow, came back through, knew for sure it was her, Miss Page. It was great seeing you. And it was great to know that you are doing what you're doing and serving and helping veterans and first responders in your world. Thank you. If you do 36 seconds, it's not a waste of time. You can reach 6 of your brothers and sisters. We'd like you to do it every day, but right now we do it every weekend. We get your 6 at 6 Patriot Playtime. And take one person in your network, one channel member that you had a broken conversation, broken relationship, and I challenge you. Do the hardest thing. I'm not going to lie, and this is what it is, and now we're going to get everyone, what's the question mark? What's the question mark? There is a person in my network that I did not necessarily can't figure out what the dialogue is. I took a little bold piece of bite out of my own backside and said, have the conversation. And I had the conversation this weekend. It didn't change a thing in the world as far as I can see right now. But you know what? That's not on my shoulders anymore. That's not on my thing. I did it. It was challenging. We had the conversation. It is what it is. If we don't talk again, that's fine. But I did the effort it took to mend that, and I feel good about it. So we missed something at the beginning because the chaos that we tried not showing chaos. And you know what? In the midst of chaos and you are battle ready, you move forward. And we did move forward and we did what we could. But we missed a vital part of our show, and that is our pledge. Not the Pledge of Allegiance, sorry. The WeP3 pledge.
Yeah, we didn't forget the big pledge.
Yep.
You ready for it? Do you want to hear this pledge?
Yes, man.
Go for it.
All right. So I'm sorry I was not here at the beginning, and that probably added to all kinds of chaos. But we do know why we get to do this, and thank you to all of you who acknowledge this podcast. It's a live show, but we turn it into a podcast as well. Those of you that come on live, it makes it great because there's conversation and interaction, and then Peterson doesn't have to talk all the time. No, I'm kidding. Oops, should I say that? That might have been 6 hours in the car together. Okay. Anyway,
did you see how much Jonathan talked this weekend? Give me a break.
Yeah.
I did talk. My voice. Listen to my voice. I don't even sound the same.
Right? It was awesome.
Space.
No, that's awesome. So we know why we get to do this. Thanks again to all service members and first responders who have committed their time, sweat, blood, limbs, family, life to give us the freedoms that we are allowed to do daily. As non-military, so I have a very service personality. I didn't put it into the those two categories, of course, but I think, again, after milling with all the people that I milled with this weekend, there is a personality. Joelle and Christy, it's good to see you. Very good to see you. There's a personality out there, and it's a personality of serving. And thank you to those of you who take it all the way to signing the lines that you have to sign to give up everything that you give up. I mean, really, in reality, some people, they sign like a contract line in the chase for money or for a bigger title. There's so many in this country who sign that line to help protect everybody else. And to me, that's bigger than any amount of money, time, whatever house that you can have. And so that's a huge piece. And so from one very humble non-military service person, I appreciate everything. Yeah, so there's pledge.
Thank you, brothers and sisters, for what you have done. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your commitment to be part of something bigger than you. And this country, as progressive as it is, would be nowhere near where it is now without the service members that have served in the military and the first responders that allow us to lay our big fat heads on the pillows of freedom every single day. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Our oath has no expiration date. Selfless service every day makes a difference.
Yeah.
30-second closing, and then we'll start with Jonathan. 30-second closing, and then Scotti will close with your last song. So your 30-second, you get your 30 seconds for the closing, and you get the intro, Never Surrender. So, Jonathan.
And I'm super tired and terrible at taking notes tonight, but Scotti said something during the show, and also Phil might have actually hit on it a little bit too, but it's just something that I kind of equated it to because it's something that I like to say a lot, and it's all you got to do is live, right? You're going to go through tough times. Things ain't always going to work out, but all you got to do is be there for the next day. Something's going to change. Something's going to give. You put enough wins together, enough wake-ups together, and you'll end up on the right side of one of them.
Absolutely.
Mr. Cook.
Every day is a challenge. Every day that we make it through is a day to be, proud of that success. So take every day as a challenge, one step at a time, one day at a time. And I personally challenge you to find someone out there that's struggling and try and help them out. Because if it's just one person that you help out, you're making a difference.
Miss Eichmann.
So I don't know that I have words of wisdom like that today, but thank you, Scotti and Phil. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome to meet you guys. Scotti on the spot. I gotta say, you guys, when we invite people, it's always the game of who's gonna notice that there's a form attached and use it. So we knew some stuff about Scotti before he got here. Phil, that's not anything that you didn't. Nobody really replies on that one, so you're fine on that. We were looking. I always tell people what could happen is Peterson could be at will then to find pictures of you to use for the for the social media posts. But you guys, you have added pieces. Oh my gosh, thank you for all the information. And I was in my notes. You both, I put positivity and looking forward and caring and supporting. Those are the words coming out of your mouths, and it's refreshing and exciting, very exciting, because look, now you two can connect. We'll get Cindy in the loop. We get Scotti playing at ruck events, and it'll be amazing, or nearby. And it'll be amazing.
Mark, if you get a hold of Cindy, she may even be able to get on here on one of your podcasts with you.
Oh yes, we've tried.
We've invited, and I know she's not saying no. She's busy. She's a busy lady.
Yeah, she's been attending some of the hikes this year throughout the country, bouncing back and forth all over the place herself. So
Yeah.
If you're a veteran out there struggling, check out innovatewarriors.com. Look out for the hikes in a city near you. It's free. Come out. Have a great time.
Thank you, Scotti. If you got time after the roll, we don't have credits, but once we roll our final phase, if you have time to hang around, we know we just briefly went over our 1 hour expectation. We seldom ever do that. And Ray regularly yells at me, "We're doing 2 hour shows now," and I'm like, that wasn't an attempt to mimic her by any means either. That was just the change of character for me at that moment.
Nothing wrong with putting quality content out there, and that's the most important thing.
You know,
we pride ourselves in that, brother. We definitely pride ourselves in making sure that we're doing great things at great times.
Patriot pride.
That's what we do. Scotti Fraser, closing and intro to your song, brother.
Rock on, Scotti.
So I'm going to keep it simple, and I'm going to close you out with a couple of my song lyrics. So first off, I'd like to say that one day we will count the cost and find that what we gained is more than what we lost.
Amen.
I'd also like to tell you that when the sun comes up tomorrow, it's always a new chance to begin. And I'd like to tell you, lastly, a song lyric, that one day, maybe the story of your life might be someone else's guide to survive. And with that, we'll put you into a song that's going to be the title track off my upcoming 2024 album. It's a song called Never Surrender. It's a song about standing tall in the face of personal hardships, knowing that you're important, knowing that you're needed, knowing that you're wanted. Never surrender on this life.
And we have Scotti Fraser with
Thank you so much. It's been an honor, an absolute honor.
Patriot pride.
Rock on.
Rock on.
I was broken for a while, a drop of blood for every mile I'm on. I took all that they gave and lived to fight another day. But if today is all I get, I'll make my mark and you can bet that I'll never surrender. On this life, and I'll never surrender. On this life, I can't change the past, but I can change how the story turns. 'Cause it's not mistakes that make us, but the lessons learned. Because what doesn't kill me will make me stronger in the end. And I'll never surrender. On this life, and I'll never get back up, standing tall again, with a medal on my chest. God knows I've done my best, because what doesn't kill me will make me stronger in the end. And I'll never surrender on this life. And I'll never surrender on this life.